Moses, hey gang. Alright, so I just made a video on the passport, bro. This is gonna be just short one, bro. So as far as the video, like I said, I usually don't make videos for the ladies. But a long time ago, when I was younger, my dad, told me that I should make more effort to protect my reputation. Okay. This goes back to what I was saying about controlling the narrative. We do have to start holding each other accountable, especially women holding other women accountable, because that's the job that you have. Like a lot of people have fallen out of that communicative, state of mind. Like, what am I saying? When you see a woman doing some weird stuff, or you see a young girl doing some weird stuff, you gotta pull it to the side, or maybe even publicly shame her. I believe simple the P said in the Bible. It said, open rebuke is better than secret love. You know what I mean? I believe that's what the Bible says. But at the end of the day, if you see if you see something, I don't even want to sound like the Crime Stoppers. But if you see something, say something. If you're like, hey, this is gonna happen if you keep doing this. This is gonna happen if you keep doing this. The thing about that is, you have to learn communication, conflict resolution, and learning how to decrease confrontation. Because 9 times out of 10, if somebody is doing something that you would discourage or encourage them to not do, they have self control issues and are a confrontational person. And they're emotional a lot. So we have to understand that people look like us. People are visual. That's how we make a lot of decisions, right? So if somebody looks like you, they represent you in a certain type of way. Now, I heard somebody say something, oh, I thought you were going to be ghetto. You know why he thought I was going to be ghetto? Because people who have looked like me, not necessarily how I got hired or who hired me on, because people who looked like me did some bull stuff before I got there. Okay? So the narrative starts from the ground. It starts from the street, bro. The thing about that is, when you watch TV, everybody that's a nurse is either a white man, a doctor is either a white man, an Indian woman, or an Asian person, because that's based off of real life. You feel me? I think most nurses in America are Asian, and then second would be Indian. So the fact that that's something that's in real life, it seems appropriate to be on TV because it's relatable. Okay, this is why you have people that work for the media that make things as real as it can be. If you have a movie on, they don't really do that with gang movies, but if you have a movie on, like I said, the medical field, even something so small as Doctor Strange, he wasn't a doctor that long in the movie, but guess what they did? They hired doctors to make sure things were accurate, so it doesn't, so it aligns with real life somewhat, because this is a fictional movie. It's not a documentary, but I still want people to have that feel. Okay, but at the end of the day, it's up to you. You have to take responsibility. You invented the passport, bros. You and your little fat little friends that you knew since high school invented the passport, bros. You haven't changed. You only had 3 different hairstyles since you graduated from high school 20 years ago. You invented them, and every time you saw somebody do some hood rat stuff and you didn't correct it, you made the need for passport bros to be a real thing. That's all I really got to say about that. Like, people, if people want what they want, that's why people grind so hard. People don't grind so they can settle. If somebody wants a Cuban dude, female, and he doesn't want to go to Cuba, he could just move to Miami, right? If you want to meet a dude with muscles, why would you not go to the gym or go to Whole Foods or something like that? A healthy guy. You want a God-fearing man. go to church. If he wants a masculine woman, he could just come to America. If he wants a masculine, unruly woman, he could just come to America and go to the mall and listen for those loud pack of hyenas talking loud as fuck with their colored hair, smelling like backwoods. And that's what you will get. You will get that. If you want a feminine woman that has everything that he wants because he works so hard and he doesn't need to come home to a dude with his balls on his fucking couch after a hard days of work, then you don't go here. You go somewhere else because that's the reputation that you guys have. One time I was in middle school and I did some foolishness, and the person that I did it to was white. What did I do? I looked through this girl's purse, right? I didn't take anything out of it, but this is early 2000s. She thought she had her purse in her. I mean, she thought she had her phone in her purse, but it was really in her gym bag in her locker, right? So they thought me and this Mexican dude actually stole the phone. And this dude Moses was like, "Bro, you gotta tell them it was you because you're making Mexicans look bad, and he didn't do anything." And I was like, "I didn't. First of all, that nigga wasn't even doing anything, and I don't really care how y'all look because I'm not Mexican." But that dude Moses was a young person and had it instilled in him from a young age that controlling the narrative is essential. Why don't we get that as black people? Why don't we get that as Americans? Not saying that he wasn't American and he wasn't born over here, but a lot of Americans don't have that mentality. The Jews have that mentality. I went to jail with this Jewish dude, and he said he taught his children to be the best workers in the whole warehouse because they have to represent Jewish people. They have to they have to carry that title. They have to be seen as warriors, winners. You know what I'm saying? Why do you think they say working like a Hebrew slave? They don't say working like an American black slave that we can actually historically prove was in slavery because it wasn't that long ago. Working like a Hebrew slave, that's offensive, bro. Because my ancestors, I don't even want to get into that. But at the end of the day, it's up to you. Your reputation is more important than that moment of pleasure, than you talking loud and getting your attention and coloring your hair, all kind of goofy colors and getting tattoos. Okay, we don't want a woman with all these tattoos like like an inmate, like a pirate. We don't want all these women with these different colored hair looking like My Little Pony. That's not attractive to a grown man. A grown man that is not in high school anymore. That's not attractive. I don't want to date somebody who looks like my favorite rapper, who talks like my favorite rapper, who's trying to rap and become my favorite rapper. I don't want that. Nobody wants that. That's ugly. That's ugly. I don't want to. Ooh, I got a hustling that. That's not. That's the mentality of a like, bro. It is what it is and not what it's not, man. It's Aaron Moses. I'm the bang, you the bang. We the bang together, man. Ladies and the breath. Be the peace.